packages anyway.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I will come back to that. I'll come back to that. Portage does not support per user installation. This means that while Portage handle system-wide installations very well, for the subject of this talk, making your own e-builds, you might think, hey, you can use Portage for having your users install just simple things in their own home directory. No, sorry. No can do. It's on the to-do list maybe in 20 years.
Why 20 years? I'm gonna get this done.
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
not.
gonna get this done soon. That shouldn't be that difficult.
It's not that hard, really. It's just they want to do it in a really clean way, and
Yeah.
This year.
I can hack it up in 2 days.
Yeah. But it doesn't support it right now.
Well, does RPM doesn't either, right? Or do you
No.
package? Do any of the big
No, no,
package
no.
managers support that?
No.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to.
Yeah.
Yes, but being source based, that's the point. That's very good too.
Yeah, I mean,
to get it
Like I
on
said,
your phone.
it's not hard.
Yeah.
No.
E-builds are, but you have to convert all the e-builds to support it. That's the hard part.
That's
Probably the thing is,
Basically-
if it hasn't been existed, it probably means that there's not enough demand for people who really care about per user installation. So it's probably the minority who really does the
Yeah.
People they don't have it in their systems.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I just want to
Sorry,
clarify
sorry,
that
sorry.
these four things, I do not consider them disadvantages, but they reoccur as people mentioning this as disadvantages. That is why I'm taking them here. Portage does not support SysMuck. This is interesting if you run Portage, try to run Portage on a big server farm. Portage does have some locks. They have implemented some locking themselves, and if you want to, for instance, send them this to another machine, you have to handle this external. But now, first of all, I'll show you how to use Portage seen from the user side, mostly to cover the terminology. First one, packages in Portage are called e-builds. And you will find that everything that revolves around Portage has an e name, e something. I don't know who came up with this, but that's how it is. And yeah, e-builds are, as I said, meta packages, which means that the package itself just contains information about dependencies and how to install the software, maybe uninstall the software. It does not contain the software itself, meaning that the e-build is per default DPL. I don't think you can change that in any way, but the software can have whatever license.
Yeah, and the e-build is GPL, and the copyright belongs to the Gentoo Foundation. So if you contribute an e-build, it ain't yours anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the way it is for legal reasons.
But it just covers the e-build, not the software itself. E-builds, talk about naming. E-builds have two levels of versioning. For an e-build, you have the version of the software that the e-build installs, and then you can have a revision of the e-build, meaning that the same version of some software can have several different revisions, different e-builds with different revision numbers. This is useful mainly because people make e-builds and they screw up somewhere and they make a new e-build for this very same piece of software. But it's useful when you start reading names of e-builds that you actually know what has to do with the software and what has to do with the e-build itself. And another interesting thing is that e-builds can be considered stable, unstable, or masked, but again, that refers to the e-build, not the software. So, an unstable e-build does not mean that the software is unstable. It means that the e-build itself is considered unstable. On the other hand, a stable e-build might install an unstable version of some software.
Typically not, but
Typically not, but you could have something that has been called a beta version for 5 years, and you say, "Oh, what the hell?" Okay. E-builds are then put into categories, so it's like a kind of a two-level tree. You have category, e-build name, version. And usually with many of the tools you can just use the e-build name, but to solve ambiguity you can also specify the category to specify exactly which e-build you're talking about. Okay. When you install something with an e-build, it falls into one of 4 groups. Either it's system, which means that it is something that is mandatory, defined by the system's profile. If you, for Gentoo users, you rarely consider this because in your installation you select a profile, and sometimes Portage might say, oh, you want to upgrade your profile, do these 2 things, and you don't really think about what it is. But basically, Portage has a profile for the specific platform, which says that for this platform there are these 5, 10, 15, 100 packages that we need to have a running system.
Just to highlight something on the system profiles, this means when a new version of Gentoo comes out, you don't need to touch installation media. You can upgrade your system completely safely, like, you know, with Red Hat and Mandrake, if you attempt to upgrade, you usually hose yourself. Not so in Gentoo, so new releases are mainly a PR deal in the Gentoo world. That's
So
what
like
the system
Debian.
does. Exactly, right. Faster though. I mean, release cycles are faster.
That's right. That's right.
Now,
Peanut gallery.
the second category, most interesting, is world. That is what you, as the owner of the system, installs. Whatever you ask Portage to install specifically goes into world. And then the third, dependencies. Things that has been installed by Portage as a dependency to something else. And the difference between world and dependencies, the main difference is that dependencies are only dependencies as long as they are needed by something in system or world. If they are no longer needed, then they become redundant, and Portage can actually identify that. So, if you install some new piece of software that you want to try out and installs like 20 libraries, and you find out, oh, you don't want to use it anyway, you don't have to keep track of which 20 libraries you install as dependencies. When uninstalling something from world, everything that was a dependency before becomes redundant, and Portage knows that. It doesn't automatically uninstall it, but you can ask it to. The 2 most important gotchas with this system is, 1, if an e-build is removed from system and it isn't a dependency of anything else, then it also is considered redundant. This has caught a few people. For instance, when Gentoo decided that not everyone needs a DHCP client. So they removed DHCP client from system. No one had installed it because it was there, because it was part of the system. And when they cleaned up the system, it was gone. And all of a sudden they didn't have a network. So, when you update your profile, please consider looking into what the changes are. You don't really have to look at all the profile files. It's enough, usually it's enough just to keep an eye on the newsletter. But it teaches one important lesson: know your system. Know what is there because it's a dependency, and know what is there because you want it to be there. Another one, an e-build is in world or in a dependency depending on how it was installed. Meaning that if you install something and install something else as a dependency, even though that you have later found out, hey, you want this something else to stay in your system,